Pedro Rodrigues Filho isn't exactly Dexter, but he is a serial killer who murdered other criminals. Which would make him one of the nicer serial killers. Pedro Rodrigues Filho is one serious serial killer. He's responsible for at least 70 murders, 10 of which he committed before he reached the age of 18. When it comes to Pedro Rodrigues Filho though, being a good guy can actually pay off. Rodrigues targeted victims who, for the most part, weren't just average everyday people. Described by one analyst as the perfect psychopath, Rodrigues went after other criminals and those who had wronged him. Rodrigues' life started out rough from the moment he came into the world. He was born in 1954 in Minas Gerais, Brazil with an injured skull as a result of a beating his mother took from his father while she was pregnant. Rodrigues committed his first kill when he was just 14. The victim was his town's vice mayor. The man had recently fired Rodrigues' father, who was working as a school guard, for allegedly stealing food from the school. So Rodrigues shot him in front of City Hall with a shotgun. His second murder wasn't long after. Rodrigues went on to murder another guard who was the supposed real food thief. He fled to the area of Mogi das Cruzes in São Paulo, Brazil. Once there, Pedro Rodrigues Filho killed a drug dealer and participated in some burglaries as well. He also fell in love. Her name was Maria Aparecida Olympia and the two lived together until she was killed by gang members. Olympia's death spurred Rodrigues' next crime spree. He tracked down several people related to her murder, torturing and killing them in his mission to find the gang member who took Olympia's life. The next notorious murder Pedro Rodrigues Filho committed was also one of vengeance. This time the target was his own father, the same man he committed his first murder on behalf of. Rodrigues' father had used a machete to kill Rodrigues' mother and was doing time at a local prison. Pedro Rodrigues visited his father in jail, where he killed him by stabbing him 22 times. Then, taking things to a whole other level, Rodrigues proceeded to cut out his father's heart before chewing on it. Pedrinho Matador was finally arrested on May 24, 1973. He was placed in a police car with two other criminals, including a rapist. When the police opened the car door, they discovered that Rodrigues had killed the rapist. It was the start of a whole new chapter. Being thrown in prison, where he was surrounded by convicts, well, that was Rodrigues' bread and butter. Pedro Rodrigues Filho killed at least 47 of his fellow inmates, which made up a majority of his murders. It's reported that the convicts Rodrigues killed while incarcerated were ones who he felt deserved retribution. He was interviewed saying that he got a thrill and joy out of killing other criminals. He also said that his favorite method of murder was by stabbing or hacking with blades. Though Pedro Rodrigues was initially sentenced to 128 years in prison, the crimes he committed while he was in jail upped his sentence to 400 years. But by Brazilian law, the maximum prison sentence is 30 years. He served an additional 4 for the murders he carried out in prison. So in 2007, he was released. Pedro Rodrigues Filho is notorious in Brazil, not just for the many people he killed, but for promising the murder of other criminals.